Farming operations can contribute to nutrient pollution when they're not managed correctly. Fertilizers and animal waste are really high in nitrogen and phosphorus, which are some of the main sources of pollution in agricultural sources. Now, these minerals can wash into nearby streams or rivers just when it rains, or they can even soak into the groundwater when farmers decide to water their crops. Fertilized soils are often high in nitrogen-based compounds like ammonia. And now this compound can really impair the health of aquatic animals when large amounts of it wash into a concentrated body of surface water.
Polluted ground and surface water can cost in the millions to clean up and restore to a healthy state. It's easier and often cheaper to try and prevent the water from becoming polluted in the first place, rather than attempting to clean it up after the damage has already been done. There are three major areas that agriculturists focus on to reduce the amount of pollution that comes from both small and large-scale farms. The first one would be watershed management. If you don't know what a watershed is, it's basically any area of land that drains or sheds water into a specific receiving water body, such as a lake, stream, or river. This is a really important aspect to maintain because water runoff is a big factor in transporting and spreading agricultural materials into environments where they might be more harmful. So if our scientists study the movement of this water, they can decide where the safest places would be to build major factories, as well as where buffers and other pollution management precautions need to be set. Watershed management is one of the largest ways we control the spread of pollution, and it requires the collaboration of a wide range of people and organizations.
Now, the next technique is nutrient management, and this process involves a very strict schedule of the types of plants and when to sow the seeds. Using this process requires the measuring of nutrients used to grow certain crops. So it also reduces the amount of excess agricultural chemicals and therefore the amount that can potentially seep into ground and surface waters. Nutrient management is also a very lucrative technique for the farmers themselves to use. It saves them money on chemicals and fertilizers because they're not only using less of those, but they're using them when they're most effective.
The final technique commonly used by agriculturists is buffers. Buffers are extremely important when it comes to filtering pollution as well as stopping erosion. Strategically placed buffer strips in the agricultural landscape can effectively mitigate the movement of sediment, nutrients, and pesticides within and from farm fields. When coupled with appropriate upland treatments, including nutrient management, buffer strips should allow farmers to achieve a measure of economic and environmental sustainability in their operations. Buffers can remove up to 50% or more of nutrients and pesticides, up to 60% or more of certain pathogens, and up to 75% or more of sediment. On top of reducing pollutants, buffers also enhance wildlife habitat and protect biodiversity.
While these preventative measures are extremely useful and they will improve water quality over time, they can't really change the fact that some ground and surface water is already polluted. Because current water cleanup techniques are really expensive, scientists have started looking into alternative natural ways to improve the water quality.
Whale shrimp are naturally occurring organisms that are capable of consuming the harmful pollutants created by agricultural processes. Scientists have found that over time, large populations of whale shrimp can actually repair the contaminated waters. Although this technique is still in experimental stages, scientists are looking toward the whale shrimp as a viable means of pollution control in the near future.
Contaminated groundwater is a huge problem that has many different partial solutions and currently very few long-term solutions. In order to reduce and stop the pollution of surface and groundwater, we have to stop the source of the contaminant and cleanse the already contaminated water.